Hey everyone, if you don't want to miss any of my videos, make sure you hit the like button, comment, and also hit that notification bell. And also join my email list for exclusive updates and content. This is in response to the video that Bolo put out about the content algorithm. I believe the title of the video was YouTube Algorithm Changes Are Crushing Music Content Creators. First of all, shout out to Bolo, top producer, another one who has made a great impact in this community. And, I was reading through the comments and watching the video, and I definitely talked about this topic many times before. And so there are some points that I'd like to share about this, about my experience on there. And this maybe could help someone else who is a content creator or someone else who is dealing with some of the similar challenges that we face on YouTube. And so I just want to talk about a few of these things and start from there. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a challenge on this thing. I've been on here for a long time, and I'm thinking, well, if I keep making videos, then the subscribers will go up, and if the subscribers go up, the views go up, and if the views go up, the income from YouTube will go up, and then eventually I'll be able to leave a 9 to 5 to then be more of a career music producer. Right? I'm a music producer that has not yet created that income. And I'm not even trying to blame the world or me or something like that. Life has a funny way of turning out some type of ways, and you have to turn and deal with it, right? How do you focus on that? So I was thinking, all right, because back then it was like I saw people go from that transition from the humble content creator to life changes, and some producers have done that. You got content creators that are on here. This is all they do. This is all I want to do. But I've met some challenges, and some of the challenges I met were on the mental side, because it's like, okay, here I am doing videos, and then one time they get a bunch of views and other times they don't. But it all goes back to the algorithm. We all like to talk about the algorithm, and the algorithm does have an impact. But here's another thing too. When say if I make a video and if people don't comment or engage with it, then it won't get pushed by the algorithm or by YouTube. It won't get pushed out. It's set up like this. Now I'm doing research with ChatGPT about this with other platforms like Instagram and other platforms like Facebook. Like, you could do a post, right? And it told me, like, yeah, it won't even share it to all your followers on the post. It'll only show it to a few. And it will test to see if people will engage and comment and like the video, which is why we say like and comment on the video, because that tells the platform, hey, show this to people more. But unfortunately, and the reality is, a lot of people watch and don't like and don't comment, and that is totally their prerogative. It's totally their prerogative. The reality of that is that when they don't do that, YouTube says, ain't really something that people want to see, so we ain't gonna show it to more people. And so as a content creator, it's like, oh my gosh, it's not getting too many views. So it's like, so then years of that make you think, well, maybe what I'm doing isn't so good, because if it was good, people would like it and engage. But then I have to think about the reality is that the music producer, content creator space on YouTube is not the highest search thing on this platform or on Google. There is a lot of people get a lot of views from that. And there are people that are exceptions to the rule on this platform that have been blessed with just that connection that where it just hits, But on the other side of that coin, it's not the most biggest topic. Making beats and make beats and stuff like that, and how to use the stuff, and even the covers and tutorials I did, it's not the most search thing. And that brought me to another point. I would do the remakes, and then as I noticed, I was like, man, I guess these remakes aren't what people want to see. And I would experiment, and I know I do some obscure stuff, but at least I would think that maybe the engagement would be higher on those, because I thought that resonated more, because that's why I leaned on it so hard. But then the challenges of copyright strikes and all that stuff played a role. So, always run a risk when I do those remakes. So in my opinion, I think that YouTube is turning the dial. I think all these platforms have a dial, and I'm just sort of hypothesizing here. I think all these platforms have a dial that they can turn Whereas, okay, show it to more people, show it to less people so that they can pay to reach. One of the interesting things that ChatGPT said was that Facebook is no longer a organic reach platform. And I know that people get organic reach on there all the time. If you're on Facebook, God bless you being on Facebook. When you're on Facebook, though, you see the videos on there, but and as a guy, you can see what type of videos get the most likes and engagement. You know, we are men, we are visual creatures, so obviously, the stuff that I see women do on there, virtually nothing, just existing. Nothing. It's just reality. Let's just be honest about it. You know, look beautiful. Guys engage with it. Since a lot of guys engage with it, pushes it more. You know, that's going to be a more appealing thing than a guy in his room making beats. Okay, and I think that YouTube is a cool platform, but it has its challenges, and you know that makes me think that a lot of people. I think that the people who affect this algorithm are not content creators. Like I remember watching a video of Casey Neistat years ago, and in that video, he was talking to someone who was probably running the platform at the time and just talking about the questions and stuff like that. It's like somebody who really worked at YouTube, who really was up there in the offices and all that stuff. And he asked that person, "Are you a content creator yourself?" He was like, "No." I was like, dang. So you don't really know what it's like to be on this side of the coin. You know, you're making your probably 6-figure income running the platform, but you'll never feel the pain of being a content creator. One time getting a bunch of views and engagement and then not. Right? So it's still, like I said, I thought that this was going to be a way out for me. It could lead to that. I know it's led to music production work and opportunities. And I know for me, sometimes I would slide through opportunities and not respond to emails like how I should, because of 9-to-5 obligations, because of other things that are pulling on me, which is interesting because I do what I do 9-to-5 so I can do this more. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge. I have gone through the emotional highs and lows about it. I had to learn how to not let the lack of engagement define me. But at the same time, I didn't want to feel like I'm wasting my time doing like really hard work and really doing a whole lot to create this video that I'm thinking is going to connect, and then it doesn't resonate with people. But the truth is that I have had people resonate with me. Another truth is that subscribers does not equal views. It should. I thought it should for a long time, but the reality shows that subscribers doesn't necessarily equal to views. It doesn't equal to engagement. Like I said, I would like it to, but in my case, it hasn't. Like the SP404 video, there are so much more people who have never seen my channel before engage with that video than my subscriber base. Now, I don't know why that is. It may not be showing. And I personally think there's something going on with my channel because my channel's been hacked. I got it back. I've always felt like there was something up with the channel anyway, but I sort of wanted to get closure on this channel by getting it to 100K subscribers and then either build another channel. I started building another channel, but it's like, okay, now I got to work, and it's just, I'm doing too much trying to adapt. But as far as being upset and letting it find me, I've had to go away from that because I think at one time it did, because it was affirmation. It was affirmational. It's like, wow, finally, since I haven't had so much of a big professional music producer success in real life, and now I'm getting some traction on here, maybe this is the replacement for that. But but from a financial standpoint, I don't know if it's a good idea, and how volatile this platform is to do this full time. I would love to do it full time, but the money has to be there. The money has to be there, and I'm not trying to be broke doing it full time either. But I in my case, that not on here, but it can come from somewhere. I believe it's possible, but it's my cross to bear to figure out how that is. Which makes me think about other platforms that I want to engage in. That I talked about in the last video about Patreon, email lists. That's why I talk about email lists, because the email list is not algorithmically driven. when you send out an email blast or your email list, it goes to the people, all of them. No question. Say if I create a Patreon page, there's no reason for Patreon to filter out my content to my subscribers algorithmically based off of engagement. And so that's sort of the thing. So as I continue to push forward on this platform and learn, because this is a good topic I could talk about a lot, I've just had to get my closure on it because it did affect me in a negative way, because it created the impression that, okay, maybe what I'm doing isn't good. And that's an emotional side, because the little stuff that I do get, the people who comment and stuff, they love it. You know, they vibe with it. And I love that. I love that connection. So that's good to have that. That's good. I don't want to say I disregard that. I care about that. That's awesome. Even the bad comments that are negative against me, that's cool too. That's part of it. You know, the more say I go viral today, guess what happens? There's going to be people critiquing my brick wall behind me, right? There's always going to be that. But I think the thing to remember is that this is a platform that helps you reach a lot of people. It wasn't my life change that I wanted it to be, but I'm still here, still trying to figure out my career as a music producer and how I can evolve it to something that's more financially stable, rather it be loot packs or something. But I got to find a way to convert this better, do better business for me, and not under somebody else's banner. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. So yeah, I'm here. I get it. Bolo, I see you. I don't know if you see this or not, because I know you're a pretty busy man. But yeah, it's a thing. I think it'll always be a thing on here, and it just takes perseverance to get through it. That's all I got. Just got to be perseverance, and say if I do remakes, it probably would be on Patreon or some platform where I won't have to worry about copyrights. And at the same time, a platform that will help me monetize my gifts and talents, where my gift can make room for me, right? All right, so that's my thoughts on it. See y'all in the next video.